Ice cream time. Hello, Mr. Logs. How do you feel with the way society punishes criminals? Thank you for the question. Karaoke string win logs tomorrow. Guys, we're gonna read this Twitter thread. It goes over Twitch. In light of the recent news on Twitch, I want to use this time to show that streaming on YouTube is actually like for someone who is a small streamer and doesn't treat YouTube similar to how someone would treat a stream on Twitch. So, there's been a lot of discourse lately within the Yu-Gi-Oh community that doesn't matter to most of you people. Most of you guys don't give a shit. I do though, because I am a professional streamer. And I see lots of other professional streamers talk about the weigh-in on Twitch versus YouTube, because they're their only really competitors. Nobody's gonna go to the other ones. And a lot of these arguments I've seen are not really based in facts. They're based on hearsay from other things they've heard from other people, and some of the information is just wrong, and they show no interest in like being corrected. And I also found out that so many people just don't understand how YouTube streaming even works. They've literally never looked into it before. They decided,
hey, I'm gonna stream, and we stream on Twitch because that's the place to stream. Let's go over there.
And then retroactively they think,
oh man, I'm streaming on Twitch. That must mean it's the best place ever, and YouTube must suck. So there's no reason to think any further than that.
A lack of nuance being on Twitter, I for one am shocked. I'm shocked that it's coming from people who generally seem pretty smart in other cases. So let's look at someone who has actually streamed on both platforms and look at their opinions. Because the thing is, YouTube has tons of problems. It's really not the best place to stream either. YouTube doesn't give a shit about streams. The only problem I have is that when people are comparing the two, they basically fillet Twitch as the best thing ever and then talk about YouTube in the worst terms ever without even getting their facts correct. And I'm just like, why? There's so many things to dunk on YouTube about. There's no reason to make it up. Yeah, they're both bad. YouTube's just a little bit better. However, let's go over the comparisons. Before we begin, I would like to say that I do not do this for a living, and that we will be tackling this from a quality of life in terms of streaming and an analytic perspective. I hate using words like engagement and content, but we might have to, so sorry in advance. Dude, so do I. I hate using buzzwords like content or engagement. The problem is usually they're like really good descriptors of what we're trying to talk about, you know? Okay, so who am I? My name is Swolax. I'm a small content creator on the YouTubes. At the moment, I have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube and average 60 concurrent viewers or concurrent viewers. When live streaming, my peak concurrent viewer within the last 90 days was 175. This is pretty good. To give you guys perspective on numbers, if you qualify for affiliate on Twitch, affiliate only requires you to have 100 followers, no, 50 followers, 3 concurrent viewers, and a different stream on 7 different days. Usually the hardest hurdle for people to hit is 3 concurrent viewers. And 90% of people who stream on Twitch don't qualify for affiliate. So if you have more than 3 concurrent viewers, you were like in the top 10%. So 60 concurrent viewers, honestly, most streamers are under 10. This would put him in the top 1% of streamers on Twitch. So these are very good numbers. They might even be able to get partnered with these numbers. And he's just a small-time YouTube streamer, and he has his numbers to prove it. I would like to add that I only stream from anywhere between 3 to 12 hours a week, depending on how busy I am and how crazy my full-time job gets. Even with low stream hours, using YouTube for streaming has been great for continued growth of the channel. But just how much growth? 3 to 12 hours is nothing. He basically streams part-time. These are such low hours. This is amazing numbers for such low amount of streams. Admittedly, my upload schedule is not great, but streaming has allowed me to still engage and put myself out there infrequently, while still seeing results. That is to say that a bulk of my viewers and analytics come from going live. Yep, 95% of their views come from live streams. Damn. He's just like you, Mr. Logs. Exactly. Twitch has much more option of interactivity. That's about all it has. Yeah, that's the point we really go over. In the past 90 days, just live streaming alone has accounted for almost 100,000 views, with 1 million impressions, which is incredible considering the size of the base compared to the wider audience. But how does this content get served to the wider audience? So 100,000 views in the last 90 days for a 4,000 sub channel, that's really good. And 1 million impressions, that's also very good. Most people will say the algorithm is a blanket term for how many videos get shared. And while outliers do occur, it is more straightforward than what people think. Watch time is king, and the more YouTube sees you are watching certain videos as a creator, it will push them out more. To your feed, I would argue that live streaming is almost like a cheat code. While my videos have an average watch time of 3 minutes, the live streams average an hour, which the implication of that should be obvious. So, 3-minute average watch time on videos, almost an hour watch time on the streams. This means means YouTube sees people streaming live streams and is like, oh my God, they're watching for so long. YouTube loves it when people stay on their platform as long as possible. That's why they love long videos that have high viewer retention, and they'll promote them more. That's why the promotions of your live streams are so big. Here's the thing. This is, in my opinion, the biggest reason why I think YouTube is better than Twitch. And it's because it pushes out your videos better. So I was on someone else's stream in their chat earlier today, and they were talking about like,
well, sure, YouTube might push you out to more people, but most people there are just watching videos. They're not there to watch a live stream.
However, think of it like this. Most people who are on Twitch are there to watch streamers, and when they're watching a streamer, they're not watching anything else. People on YouTube are more used to like browsing new videos, clicking on new videos, because they're only watching videos. And if your live stream gets recommended and they click on it and they watch that, they'll watch the live stream. Now, just because they're not in the mood for a live stream at the moment doesn't mean they won't watch the live stream, and doesn't mean it won't get recommended. But because you're in a place where you're constantly like clicking on new things, the chances that you'll actually find a new stream is better than when you're on Twitch and you're just watching one thing and there's nothing else being recommended to you, and you're not moving anywhere unless there's like a raid that happens. So like the way Twitch is set up as a platform just doesn't encourage you to check out new people. Whereas the way YouTube is set up as a platform encourages you to check out new things constantly. So you're in just like the mood to check out new things. And even though people might not want to click on a stream as much, it's still being recommended way more than a Twitch stream does, because Twitch barely recommends your channels. There is a tab. It's not non-existent, but it's not the best. And YouTube is much better at it. And their algorithm is much better too. They have like one of the best algorithms. You never get ads in the middle of YouTube streams, so you're less likely to click off. Oh my God, the ads, that is another just thing in YouTube's benefit. You don't have to run ads on your streams if you don't want to. It's completely optional. Whereas on Twitch, it's not. They don't let you not run ads. It is non-negotiable. And also, I think like this right here is the biggest benefit of YouTube streaming, in the fact that there's actually a chance you can just be a full-time streamer and YouTube will suggest your streams based on your stream's merits alone, which isn't the case on Twitch. In fact, if all you do is stream and nothing else, you need to get really lucky, and you should never rely on luck like that. You do have to get lucky with this too, but like the chances are just like so much higher. The chances of getting discovered through this algorithm section and Twitch's is like 10 to 1 almost. It's just ridiculous how much better it is. Most people who like grow really big on Twitch just streaming and that's it, usually grow because either they're good at networking or someone clips their content and puts it on YouTube. So like even if all they do is stream, someone else is like clipping their content and put it on YouTube, and they're getting the discovered that way. And usually those are like the two big ways like someone who like grows from only doing streams and nothing else is because someone else went out there and like clipped them for them, or because they were just really good at networking, even if they just happen to have like a good friend or something. Whereas on YouTube, you don't have to do either of those things because they suggest your channels. It's still recommended you do those things, absolutely. But it's just like the discoverability is so much better, and getting discovered on a streamer is so hard. So like any platform that promotes that better is, in my opinion, just like objectively better, because that's like the only metric that matters. Everything else doesn't really matter compared to this. However, if this is so good and it's so much better than Twitch, why doesn't everybody use YouTube? Well, because there's problems with this. We'll get to that in a second. The algo will see higher watch time and look to push stream VODs, or even better, the live stream out, because it thinks, hey, X people are watching you for like an hour, they must want to watch you some more. This does work for short form content too, but long form, the video content, it is easier to reach higher numbers of watch time. VODs may even take on a life of their own after the live stream, gaining more views and adding to overall exposure of videos. See CK versus 55K. I do have some VODs that are just like a lot of views for no reason on YouTube. YouTube's pure discoverability is unmatched, and in the best platform for native growth without having to grow an audience, and then brings them over to the outside source. Finding someone on Twitch is virtually impossible, with the only recommended system being from each game category and scrolling to the bottom. This is not a bad thing per se, but it does make it hard to start on Twitch and grow on Twitch. In my opinion, it seems like you have to do twice the work of managing other platforms while YouTube does most of the work for you. This is so true. If someone's gonna find you on Twitch, they have to basically go to your streaming category and just scroll to the bottom to find you. Whereas YouTube actually just recommends you to people where Twitch doesn't. So discoverability on YouTube is just so much better. It's not even a contest. It is, in fact, so much better that when I see people use arguments that,
No, it's not really.
I just think you literally just don't know what you're talking about. Because it is like so ridiculously better that it's not even a question. And that's a lot of the content, that's all of the things I've seen people talk about. They're like,
well, the only reason to use YouTube is for like, you know, the stupid thing. Twitch is just so much better for everything else. Like,
no, not really. The only reason to use YouTube is for like literally the most important metric of your channel. Discoverability. and growth. The other stuff is just so minor, but there's some good reasons to use Twitch too. We'll get to that in a bit. As well, YouTube's new updates make storing VODs right next to your other content so much easier without having it to be disruptive to the channel's overall looks. Gone are the days of crowding your feeds with mismatched content. Yeah, this is so true. So YouTube has this new system where basically, can I expand this? You have the home page, and then you have a videos page, and then you have a shorts, live, playlist, community channels, and there's also a podcast page. Basically, it used to be your videos page just had every single video that exists on your channel. Now they separate videos separately from live streams and shorts. So if you have live streams, they only go in the live stream panel. They don't clog up your videos page, which is so good because usually one of the main detriments of running live streams is they would appear next to your videos, and people would go to your videos and they'd see your videos and have a bunch of live streams next to it, and it would just be really bad a look for your channel. That's why so many channels just had like VOD channels. Now they separate them, so there's no reason to like worry about that anymore. It's such a good system. Now, I haven't really touched on monetization yet because frankly, discoverability and growth matters a bit more. That's so true. Finally, someone who gets it. Discoverability just kind of matters more than everything. But YouTube does have more options for ad controls on your stream. You can choose where and when you want your ads with no required pre-roll ads. Twitch will normally force pre-rolls, and that is a killer to viewers, with most clicking off to another stream or exiting the site altogether. That's just so true. The fact that YouTube just lets you choose that. Also, there's YouTube Premium, which works site-wide, so you don't get the ads anyway. Just so much better. Add all this on top of the fact that YouTube's TV and mobile apps make it easier to browse, chat, and watch live streams not on a computer or without their top-tier internet. Twitch still requires so much to have a good viewing experience from a technical level. I even had a conversation with someone telling me that streaming at higher bitrate could alienate an audience, so higher stream quality could mean lower views, which is insane, right? This is another thing. So if you're not a partner, people who watch your stream are not allowed to change like how they view your stream. So like currently on my stream, you can change like, you know, the quality of it from like 1080p to 720 to 480, etc., based on like, you know, what your internet can handle. If you're not a partner, those options don't exist. So you have to just stream in a lower quality if you want people to have like, you know, the lower option, because that is an exclusive option to only partnered streamers. On YouTube, you just have that by default. Also, you can't really change the stream delay no, actually, I think that's wrong. The stream delay is the same on both of them. You can just change it to whatever you want, no matter if you're partnered or not. I still have nightmares of 1 out of 12 ads on Twitch. Yeah, YouTube doesn't do that. You can just choose not to have ads, which is awesome. Twitch doesn't allow you to do that at all. But as this is a huge booty, Twitch has one thing that YouTube does not have: a community. And this is not a joke. Emote culture, great moderator controls, bits, subs and gifted subs, squad streams, predictions, raids, all of this and more lead to a better and more organic viewer experience. No other platform has this, and honestly, it's just a carbon copy everywhere else. Each feature is designed to make viewing on Twitch fun and engaging on a more personable level. And while YouTube has some of these features, they are not implemented very well. While YouTube growth and discoverability is bigger and better, Twitch growth, while slower, is organic and more personal. When someone raids you or recognizes you in chat, gifts a sub, etc., it all just feels right. YouTube has emotes, sure, but they're clunky. They have quote raids, but not really. They have mods, but it's way too encompassing and requires permissions to the whole channel. They have gifted subs, but I think the verbiage and function makes it seem cold and not worth it. Memberships offer a lot more than subscriptions do, just because it is channel-wide. Exclusive content, emotes, etc. But with how Twitch has trained us, most just want, or really just need, a clapping peepo. YouTube has 4K support and is so much better than a mobile experience, but why does that matter when you can't spam poggers or gift subs? Both platforms have their ups and downs and can be useful depending on what you're looking for. Overall, YouTube has the best discoverability, better ad control, best VOD support, you can actually keep your VODs forever, remember Twitch deletes yours, highest growth potential, and better member model for content. Twitch has better community features, best mod settings, best chat experience, and better sub model for streaming. This is all true. This is why people love Twitch, is because the community aspect of it just feels better because there's so many bells and whistles. Because, you know, you have the emote culture. Because the thing is, on Twitch, if you buy someone's emotes on their channel, you can use them on everyone else's channel. Like, I love using this one, for example, you know, the Ame dance emote. It's fun. I like to just spam it in people's chat. That doesn't exist on YouTube because you'd only be able to use them in Ame's chat. Additionally, they don't even have animated emotes in YouTube. So you wouldn't be able to have any of these fun little animated emotes on YouTube at all. And also the emotes on YouTube are just kind of like a little bit smaller. So they're really hard to see compared to like Twitch emotes. Well, that just means you have to like make your emotes so that they're easier to see at a glance. but you do have to like have different emotes. Yeah. So like the emote culture, like literally there's just an emote culture on Twitch. And on YouTube, you can't have that because they both don't have animated emotes and you can't use your emotes on other people's channels, only on that channel specifically. Great moderator controls. This is another thing in Twitch's favor. The moderation controls for chat on Twitch are like 10 times better than YouTube. The moderation controls on Twitch chat are so ridiculously good that it's almost like laughable how bad YouTube's are in comparison. You can go like so specific with how people are allowed to chat in your chat. Like, you know, you can only chat if you created your account within 2 days, 2 weeks, and you have like a verified phone number, and you've chatted on like 3 other platforms before you've come to my chat. On YouTube, it's just literally if they've been subscribed for how much time. There's like, you can only chat if you've been subscribed for at least 5 minutes or something like that. Whereas Twitch is just a lot more like in depth with it. And also they allow you to look at your chat history too, which YouTube doesn't. And they allow you to like, do things by clicking on someone's name, which YouTube doesn't let you do either. The chat controls on YouTube are garbage. They do work. They do have some settings, but they're nowhere near as good as Twitch's are. Bits, no one uses bits. Super chats are better, in my opinion. Like, as someone who uses lots of bits, most people don't use bits. I don't think people would give it above. I'm pretty sure most people don't even know how bits work. Basically, bits are, you pay Twitch, and then they give you fun money, and then you spend the fun money, and it's equal to about 1 US cent. So if you give someone 100 bits, then that means they get $1, but they had to pay like 120 for that, 100 bits. So like you pay more than the bits you get out. Super chats work the same way, except super chats encourage larger donations. Where if you give someone 100 bits, that's a lot. Most people don't give that much. Like, holy, 100 bits? Why are you going that high when you can give out 1 bit and still get your message highlighted? There's no reason. Whereas over on YouTube, their super chat system is set where you have different colors for super chats, and you're only allowed to type in a certain amount of text based on how much you donate. And if you get to like the higher numbers where it gets closer to red, then you can type like whole paragraphs in your super chat. And they're basically highlighted messages. Whereas Twitch has highlighted messages to spend channel points on. So there's no reason to do that. You can get more attention by just not spending money. Whereas on YouTube, that's the only way to get attention through the chat, is through super chats. And the lowest ones where you can send text start at $2, which is 200 bits. Most people never want to send 200 bits. 200 bits is a ton on Twitch, whereas $2 super chat on YouTube is considered small. The average is usually like 5. People will usually send $5 for a chat. Most people send a lot more, especially in like streamers they really like. So like the direct donations, if you compare bits to super chats are just so much better. Subs though, technically YouTube does have subs, and their subs model is a lot more intricate and you make more money from it. The memberships, where you can set it to however much you want, and it could even go below $5 a month. So like you can have a tier at like $2 a month if you want, or like $100 a month, whereas Twitch doesn't let you modify that. You only have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and YouTube lets you do whatever you want with it. And also YouTube gives you 70%, where YouTube only gives you 50%. So like on surface level, it is better. It's just they don't go really far enough with it. You can gift subs on Twitch, on YouTube, but you can't give to a specific person. It's only random, which is pretty bad. If they just changed it so you could give memberships to specific people, it would be so much better, but they don't. One of these days I might add that in as a feature, because they barely just added in gifted subs as an option like a year ago. But they're getting there, and honestly their sub system is much better than Twitch's. The problem is that a sub on Twitch is easier to give out and also has a little bit more benefit because it allows you to use your emotes on other people's channels. And also gets rid of the annoying ads, because Twitch has very annoying ads and YouTube doesn't. So there's not really a reason to get a gifted sub because you don't have to deal with ads anyway. Whereas on Twitch, because their website forces ads on you, there's such a huge benefit to having a sub because you don't have to deal with those ads anymore. Whereas YouTube doesn't really force them on you on a live stream, so there's no real benefit to having them, the gifted sub, because I don't think it even removes the ads anyway. I mean, obviously people use bits. I use bits. They're just nowhere near used as much as super chats. Like, holy, people love super chats on YouTube. Bits are a minor thing. People would rather just gift a sub. There's also no permanent bans on YouTube. You can only time out for a preset 600 time. Last time a friend streamed on YouTube got constantly returned by because they couldn't be blacklisted as permit. You can hide them. There is an option. They just probably didn't know how to do it because the moderation settings suck on YouTube. Didn't Twitch also experiment with super chat like features ago? They did, and I'm surprised they got rid of it because like it seemed like such a no-brainer thing to copy because super chats are so good. Logs use bits to make Leah's voice robotic and make Minnie happy. Yeah. I do. I use bits a lot. The only thing I'm not a fan of for memberships is that you can't gift a membership. Yeah, me too. Mr. Logs, have you ever sent an Aqua Suba for anyone before? I sure have. Basically, everything is less personal. So what's the point of subs on YouTube? Like, what's the benefit? You see, the benefit with YouTube is that you're allowed to set what the benefits are. You do get emotes. It does unlock emotes on the channel. It also unlocks members only posts. And a lot of, whatchamacallit, YouTube streamers do have like members only content. They'll even sometimes have members only like Discord servers because YouTube does have support for that, thankfully. And it allows you to also have like members only streams. And like there's like a culture of having members only streams on YouTube that doesn't exist on Twitch. Technically, you can have a subscribers only stream, but almost no one does it. Whereas over on YouTube, you know, having like one members only stream a month is like pretty accepted and like pretty normal. And you can only watch that stream if you're a member, which encourages people to become members. And usually those streams are just like, you know, just watching movies or something, or just working on behind the scenes content. Basically what I do on my secret stream. That's what they lock the behind the membership streams. And people, you know, love the secret streams to an extent. Like I can give Coder, specifically Coder, a sub right now, but I can't give the membership to Coder specifically. Yeah, I know. I hate that feature too. I wish they could as well. I love Nova's super chat sound. Oh yeah. They're also missing channel points. Oh yeah, they are also missing channel points. That is also a big thing for a lot of like chatters and stuff. Personally, I'm not a fan of channel points. I think they're neat, but I think they distract too much from the stream. But if your stream is like all about distractions anyway, or just doing random shit, they're great. Like, I know. If you want channel points on YouTube, that kind of a system just doesn't exist. For me personally, I don't see that as a detriment. Especially since a lot of streamers I know just kind of ignore channel points too anyway. It's kind of rare to find someone who takes their channel points super seriously. Yeah, channel points are a fun, neat little thing. They definitely add to the culture of the chat. They actually encourage you to watch streams too. Like sometimes I'll put on someone's stream just so I can farm channel points because I want to like spam it with one of their redeems. Channel points can definitely help you out. I really want to try to stream on YouTube, but I spent a good amount of time on Twitch already. But there was more so because I wanted to stream my backlog rather than carry the numbers back up. Yeah, I mean, if you want to grow from scratch, YouTube is the way to go. Okay, and there's also squad streams. I don't know what this is. Predictions. A lot of people I know don't really use predictions very much, but they are a nice feature. Raids. Oh my God, this is huge. This is, I think, another one of the best benefits of like Twitch over YouTube. YouTube does have raids, but they're kind of complicated. And you have to like watch a tutorial video to know how to do them. And when you do them, you can only raid like certain people who like give you permissions. I forget what they are. I think you can raid someone as long as they turn on the permissions where anyone who's subscribed to you can raid, because it's still like a new feature on YouTube. But once you figure them out, they're basically the same thing. Like after my stream, I don't know, a few days ago, I think I raided Rana afterwards because she streams on YouTube. And like that was set up really easily. But that's only because I already know how to do it because I've a YouTube stream. Squad streams the collab. So it's just, yeah, it's just a technical difference for now because it used to be way harder. Like this is brand new. Like they just allowed you to raid anyone. It used to be you could only raid someone if you guys both followed each other. No, if you guys both subscribe to each other. They removed that feature, but it's still like complicated. And there's one other thing about Twitch that is very good that someone mentioned in chat that I forgot. The other thing about Twitch, and like I've already known that YouTube is better for all this stuff. That's why I just streamed on YouTube for so long, because there's no reason to stream on Twitch. The reason why I started streaming on Twitch, I've talked about this a lot, is to make connections, is to network. Because if you want to make networking, if you want to network with people who are on Twitch, who are Twitch streamers, you have to stream on Twitch. Because if you don't stream on Twitch, then there's like this unspoken rule where you're an outsider. You're not part of them because you're not on Twitch. However, if you simply just start streaming on Twitch, all of a sudden a whole bunch of doors are open to you. Like in the 1 year that I started streaming, I made so many more connections with other like Yu-Gi-Oh content creators than I did in like the past 9 years of just doing YouTube. And I was streaming the whole time. I did stream on YouTube, it's just no one else did. I was basically alone on YouTube. And as soon as I started streaming on Twitch, I was like,
Oh my God, you stream now?
it's like, I've been streaming. I've always streamed. I just hadn't streamed over here. And I made so many more connections just because there's just a culture of just like people being on Twitch with each other. And like, I know some YouTube streamers who have to stream on YouTube because of like contracts and stuff, and they feel so bad that they can't stream on Twitch because like that's where all their friends are. That's where the culture is. They feel like left out of a whole bunch of collabs because they are left out of collabs. They are absolutely left out of things because they're YouTube streamers. It's like a cult where if you want to interact with the people in the cult, you have to be part of the cult. Because even if they don't consciously do it, it's just more convenient to raid people on Twitch and to know people on Twitch, you know, to be part of the in-group. And because everybody who streams on Twitch, because that's the place for streamers, that's where they just do it. That's why they don't even know these things. That's why so many of the people who are making their hot takes about, you know, YouTube versus Twitch don't know what they're talking about, is because they didn't think about it. They just thought, hey, I'm going to stream, so I'm going to stream on Twitch because that's where you stream. It's just the stream place. Twitch is known for streaming. Its brand is streaming. If you want to stream, you stream on Twitch. If I want to watch streams, I go on Twitch to watch streams. That's it. That's the start and end point of their thought when they became a streamer. That's why they don't even know like the benefits of YouTube at all, because it just never crossed their mind because they don't watch YouTube streamers. So it's just like a cultural thing. That is the only reason I stream on Twitch. I had no interest before I needed to make connections for the World Legacy Project. And I made so many connections that I basically have them. Like, it was so easy. Making connections on YouTube, on Twitch is like easy mode. It's kind of crazy. All this other stuff doesn't matter to me because I like make enough money from the YouTube channels and not worry about this. And that was another thing. I was talking in someone else's chat about like how much better YouTube is for discoverability. And they're like, you only say that because you have a big channel. Of course you think there's better discoverability. And I'm like, no. It's like, yeah, I'm very aware that I get lots of viewers because I have a huge channel. You think I'm stupid? No, I'm not talking about me. I mean like just in general, because like the information is there. Like, he's not even the only person. I've seen someone else who started streaming on YouTube recently and they were mainly a Twitch streamer and they're like, holy, I didn't know the discoverability was so good on Twitch. I mean, on YouTube. I had so many impressions that I've never gotten on Twitch before. And I was like, yeah, they push you out like crazy. YouTube just has a better algorithm for this. It's just a straight up fact. I've seen this a lot, actually, from so many people, where I try to tell them the benefits of YouTube, and they're like,
well, of course you think YouTube's good because you have a big channel.
I'm like, no, of course I think it's good because of the facts. It's just like, it's a fact. It's not just because I have of course I have the big channels. Of course I have an advantage in this thing, but that's besides the point. If anything, they're just invalidating my opinions on these things because I have a big channel. Even though like if they just did a Google search and knew what they're talking about, they would understand. That's not even the main detriment. There are benefits of streaming on Twitch, and they're really big benefits. They're worth streaming on Twitch. But if you're going to like, you know, do a YouTube versus Twitch thing, at least understand what those are, you know? That's all it is. Yeah, the numbers don't lie. I don't know. I always have to fight these kinds of like just weird, you know, battles when I'm trying to tell them just like the benefits of YouTube. I don't even care if they stream on YouTube. It would be awesome if they did because I could stream on there too, but I already do. It's like, who cares? I already have my connections. I don't need to stream anymore. I can just quit streaming tomorrow and I'd probably make more money because the YouTube channels are just more successful. You have a big channel because YouTube has better discoverability. I had no idea you could find streams on YouTube. Yeah. Most people are like, well, I've never seen any. That's another argument I saw where people were like,
well, I've never seen a stream on YouTube, so it can't be that good.
It's like, well, you know, your algorithm has never recommended them to you. That doesn't mean they don't exist. And that doesn't mean the algorithm's not good for it. I can tell you for a fact, I found people through the recommended algorithm. The reason I found Nova, for example, was because the YouTube algorithm just recommended her channel to me while she was streaming one day. And I checked it out and I was like, oh, this is cool. And that's how I met Nova. She's a YouTube streamer who does Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And her Yu-Gi-Oh stuff does very well. She's actually the most viewed Yu-Gi-Oh VTuber. But you'd never know that because she streams on YouTube. Like, her concurrent viewer rate is like much better than all the other like Yu-Gi-Oh VTubers. YouTube sucks, stop selling YouTube. Bitterlitz, you literally just missed the entire presentation. Nova's the only Yu-Gi-Oh streamer I recommend on YouTube. YouTube sounded pretty good. Yeah, YouTube's great. If you actually know the facts of it, you're like, holy crap, YouTube's actually really good. And it's like, yeah, it is. Overall, YouTube is better. YouTube is better if, you know, for like discoverability, which is everything for a streamer. The problem is there's so many other benefits to Twitch that it might be worth just using Twitch depending on what your goals are for streaming. My goals for streaming were to make connections, and the connections were over on Twitch. So that's why I use Twitch. That's it. If it wasn't for that, then I would have stayed on YouTube forever. Does your model have a toggle that puts socks on? Of course not.